Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that probably feels familiar to a lot of us. It's this massive paradox of our time. We have never, ever been more connected to each other, and yet, somehow, loneliness seems to be everywhere.
So, let's just start with a number. 24%. What is that? Well, according to a recent survey, that's how many young Canadian workers say their actual, real-world verbal skills have gotten worse because of all the virtual work and learning we've been doing. I mean, that's a pretty stark sign that this digital-first world is fundamentally changing how we talk to each other.
And that brings us right to the heart of the issue, doesn't it? We've got thousands of friends, followers, connections all right there in our pocket. So why does that deep, genuine feeling of connection seem so hard to find sometimes? Let's take a look at how technology is trying to solve the very problem it kinda helped create in the first place. And of course, whenever there's a problem, you can bet technology's gonna swoop in with a supposed solution. We've seen an absolute explosion of new apps that aren't for dating or just keeping up with old friends, but are designed specifically to help you make brand new friends, right from scratch.
And I mean, the market is just flooded with them. You've got Be Real, which is all about sharing unedited, authentic moments. Then there are apps like Sweat Pals to find people to work out with, or Bumble BFF, which is, exactly what it sounds like. But the promise behind all of them is always the same. Let us help you build real, genuine connections online.
And this review from a user really just nails it. It gets right to the core of what people are looking for. It's not about racking up contacts. It's about a real craving for authenticity and trust. It's basically the antidote to that super curated, performative vibe we see on older social media platforms. Okay, but here's the twist. Even with the best of intentions, these platforms are still businesses, and their business model is built on one thing, the most valuable resource you have, your attention. And this is where it all gets a little messy.
So here's the thing you have to remember. If a service is free, you're not the customer. You are the product. Your time, your focus, every single click, that's the real commodity here, all packaged up and sold to the highest bidder.
And this creates a huge conflict, right? I mean, what we want as users is a meaningful connection that hopefully gets us off the app and into the real world. But that's often the exact opposite of what the platform wants. They want to keep you scrolling, keep you engaged, so they can serve you more ads. And then they have this whole bag of tricks to keep us glued to the screen. I mean, think about infinite scroll. There's literally no endpoint. You can just go forever. Or that little rush you get from likes, which works on our brains just like a slot machine. And then there's the social pressure, right? Things like snap streaks that make you feel like you have to log in every single day.
And the fallout from this stuff is serious. Research actually links addiction to these platforms with some really significant harms, everything from emotional dependency to just lower overall life satisfaction. But maybe the scariest one is damaged autonomy. It can actually harm our ability to control our own lives, to make our own choices free from that constant digital pull.
So if these platforms are literally designed to be addictive, what are we supposed to do? How can we use them in a way that's healthier? Well, it turns out the answer might come down to one single really powerful idea: authenticity.
So what is authenticity, really? It's just about being true to yourself. Psychologists would say it's when your actions line up with your own core values, not because of some external pressure. It's the exact opposite of feeling like you have to perform for an audience or jump on the latest online trend. And get this isn't just some nice, fluffy idea. It's actually backed by data. A recent study found that young adults who felt like they could be their true, authentic selves on social media actually reported fewer symptoms of depression, anxiety, and stress. So yeah, being real online is literally good for you. Which, of course, brings up a really important question for all of us to think about. When you're posting, when you're commenting, when you're liking things, who is that person? Is it a carefully curated version of you designed to please the algorithm? Or is it a genuine reflection of who you really are? Okay, so beyond our own personal choices, there's a much bigger conversation happening right now. Experts are trying to figure out how we can build a healthier digital world for everybody. What are the big, systemic changes we need to make?
So on one side, you have the optimists like Ray Schroeder. They believe that technology can actually solve the problems that technology created. They see a future where cool new AI tools help us spot fakes, validate information, and basically empower us all with the truth.
But then, on the other hand, you have more cautious voices, like Dana Boyd from Microsoft Research. And she basically argues that as long as the fundamental business model is about endless growth and engagement, well, things might actually get worse before they start getting better.
So what's the path forward? Well, experts seem to be landing on a kind of three-pronged attack. First, we need stronger government regulation. Second, tech companies themselves need to start redesigning their platforms to be more humane, building in tools that give power back to the user. And third, we need a huge push for education to give everyone the digital literacy skills to navigate this complicated world.
Look, the bottom line is this whole thing is far from over. The next 10 years are going to be a huge battle, a constant tug of war between giant corporate interests, regulators, and everyday users like you and me. The actual rules for our online world are being written as we speak.
And there are groups out there fighting the good fight. Organizations like the Center for Humane Technology are working hard to push this future in a better direction. And all their work really leads us to one final and I think most important question.
So, who do you want designing the next decade of your digital life? The engineers whose job is to maximize engagement? The government regulators trying their best to keep up? Or should it be us, the people who actually use these platforms, demanding a digital world that puts our well-being first? That's the real question. Thanks for watching.